Episode 6 of Jeongnyeon, The Star is Born begins with the students practicing for the play. Sobak berates Juran and Yeongnyeon for not having practiced together. She says it is crucial for their characters to have chemistry. After practice, Juran asks Yeongnyeon to practice together, but she says they aren't ready. On the other hand, Chorak makes Jeongnyeon doubt her decision to take a small role. Yeongnyeon is practicing on her own when she realizes Juran is listening to her from outside the room. She is interested by Juran's interpretation of her character, Precious. Juran says she understands Yeongnyeon doesn't want to practice together before she has found her version of her character down perfectly. But Yeongnyeon changes her mind and tells Juran they can practice together. Juran is thrilled and runs to give Jeongnyeon the news. Elsewhere, Jeongnyeon, Hyran and a small girl named Eunjae walk down the street. Fans begin to crowd Jeongnyeon and they go inside a shop. Hyran tells Jeongnyeon to spend more time with her and Eunjae. Jeongnyeon agrees and then mentions Jeongnyeon being locked in the prop room. Hyran pretends to not know anything. During practice, Juran encourages Yeongnyeon to play her own version of Gomijil instead of Doing's. They play the scene out again and Yeongnyeon gets it right. Elsewhere, Jeongnyeon enlists Doing's help with her acting. They talk about how Doing lost her position to Yeongnyeon, but Doing understands that Yeongnyeon is just better at singing. In the morning, Jeongnyeon dresses like a male student and goes out into town. She studies men's different mannerisms and then ends up volunteering at a soldiers' camp. She speaks to one man and two women who had enlisted in the war and learns about their experiences. Yeongnyeon visits her mother and gives her tickets to Jeongnyeon. She tells her mother that if she isn't impressed this time, she doesn't need to attend more shows. Sobak speaks to Mr. Ko and Hyran about the budget for the play. Mr. Ko tries to convince Sobak to take a new theater's offer, but Sobak refuses. Outside, he tells Hyran that the theater troupe will not last long financially. Ko storms out of Marin's gate and gets into a fight with the young fangirls waiting outside. Jeongnyeon comes to their defense and they are all incredibly impressed. She goes inside and is surprised to see Juran and Yeongnyeon getting along. But this seems to make Jeongnyeon a bit upset. The day of the play arrives and everyone gets ready. Doing warns Jeongnyeon to not stand out too much. The play begins and right before their scene, Juran and Yeongnyeon encourage each other. It bothers Jeongnyeon to see them this close. They go on stage and the audience goes wild at their performance. Even Jeongnyeon says they are bringing out the best in each other. Next up is the scenes with the soldiers and Jeongnyeon, threatened by Yeongnyeon, does too well. When they get off stage, even Sobak tells Jeongnyeon to blend in. The pivotal scene comes around and Jeongnyeon goes on stage again. Her role is to say one line informing the others that the soldiers have arrived. But she then sees the real soldiers she spoke to in the audience and recalls her own experience of losing her father during the war. Instead of one line, she gives a whole speech, and when the audience responds, she begins to sing at the end of Jeongnyeon, The Star is Born Episode 6. Jeongnyeon, The Star is Born Episode 6 brings Jeongnyeon back to Marin but almost immediately puts her in a precarious situation again. While I understand that Jeongnyeon is the impulsive kind of protagonist who runs headlong into shenanigans and escapades, the final scene of this episode makes it a recurring factor. Once again, she has stepped out of line and I'm not sure there is enough weight to support her actions. Improvising to such an extent feels like willful disruption, and if she's kept in Marin after this, it'll be pushing the viewer's suspension of disbelief. What is interesting though is the character dynamics. What's the deal with Jeongnyeon and Hyran? Who is the small girl with them? The growing triangle of feelings between Juran, Yeongnyeon, and Jeongnyeon is also an interesting point, particularly considering the promises Jeongnyeon and Juran made to each other. In fact, watching these various dynamics and complicated emotions unfold, such as the scenes showing how Juran and Yeongnyeon help each other develop their characters, is more interesting than plot-centric developments. The play itself takes up about a third of the episode, and it further emphasizes that this K-drama isn't just about an artist, but about the art itself. A lot of care has gone into the high-quality production of the play itself, and it makes the few scenes we get to watch a delight. A special shout out to Jeongnyeon for acing her performance of Yeon Seo learning how to portray Jeongnyeon.